If you are currently paying to send money to your family, I beg you, please stop. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My name is Reni, and on this channel I do fashion, finance, and lifestyle content. If you're new here, click that subscribe button, and if you are returning or if you're new, please hit that like button because it really helps with the algorithm. Today's video is going to be all about money. And you know, I am all about helping all of you save your coins, and a big part of saving your money is managing your expenses and reviewing your financial obligations. So that's what we're going to talk about today. A huge obligation that many Canadians face is actually supporting their loved ones and their family members. I actually just saw a stat that 1 in 5 Canadians ages 18 to 34 are expecting to postpone their retirement in order to provide for their family members financially. The stat even gets higher when it comes to newcomers to Canada. So newcomers to Canada are often supporting themselves in this new country, but then also supporting their family back home. So they're straddled between two worlds, and they are expecting to work even longer and delay their retirement even longer. This is leading to more and more young people delaying buying a house, delaying marriage, delaying having kids, all because they want to be able to financially support their parents, or they have to financially support their parents. And while we all love our parents, we love them so dearly, I don't want this to be us. I want us all to be able to provide for ourselves, provide for our parents, and also plan for our future at the same time. So today I'm going to give you 4 tips in order to learn how you can support your family members without going broke yourself. The first tip I have is to review the method in which you are using to send money to your family members or loved ones. If you are currently paying to send money to your family, I beg you, please stop. Please stop. Please stop. If you are in Canada, consider opening a joint account with your family member. So if you are supporting your parents, for example, go to your bank, open a joint account with them. Very simple, and it'll be free. So all you do is put money in their account, and they can take money out of the account very easily. I know you may be like, okay, I could just e-transfer them, but when you e-transfer them, you'll probably get charged, depending on your bank, get charged $1 or $2, and that adds up. I know it may not seem like a lot initially, but it does add up if you're sending them money on a regular basis. So I would implore you all to, instead of doing that, open a joint bank account and make sure that you look for the bank that's going to give you the cheapest account, or ideally a free account, because who's trying to pay for bank fees? Not me. Many of you who watch my channel are newcomers from Nigeria. So you recently came to Canada, maybe in the last few months, few years, who knows, but many of you who do watch my channel are newcomers from Nigeria, and I know many of you probably send money back home. So I found a cheap and easy way, actually the cheapest and easiest and most efficient way to send money back home, and I'm gonna tell you about it right now. No more finding someone to exchange money for you or paying these huge companies that have exorbitant fees. There is a new app in town, and I want to share it all with you. It's called Lemonade Finance. This video is sponsored by Lemonade Finance. Lemonade Finance is a cross-border payment platform tailor-made for Africans, not just in Africa, but everywhere abroad. It's an app that allows you to remit payment to mobile wallets or bank accounts for, get this, free. Free. They have free transfers, instant delivery, competitive exchange rates, and the user experience on this app is A1. Like, I have used many apps to send money before, not just to Nigeria, but like even within Canada, and this, I would have to say that the setup process and everything on this app is on point. I've sent money a few times to recipients in Nigeria, and they all got it within minutes. The onboarding process is also seamless, and once you log in, you're able to send $1,000 immediately, and then if you decide to verify your identity and your email, then you can send up to $4,000. And another thing, the exchange rate is so good. I've sent money to Nigeria a few times so far using this app, and the recipients got it within minutes each time. I'll put some of their testimonies on the screen, but yeah, they all received it within minutes, and the onboarding process with this app is seamless. The second you sign in and log in, you can send up to $1,000 immediately, and then if you wanted to send more, all you would have to do is verify your identity with your email, and you're able to send $4,000. So it's a win-win. The process is seamless, easy. You're not going through stress stress in order to send money. It's a very simple process. I'm telling you, this app is amazing, and I still can't get over the fact that it's 100% free. So there's no charge to you as the user. You're able to send money and get a great exchange rate as well when sending that money. If you use the link in my description box, you can download the app on either Android or iPhone, and if you use my code EXORENI, you'll be able to get 10% cash back on your transfer. So if you send $100, that's $10 you're getting back. It's a pretty good deal. So I hope that you will use my code and support my channel and save some coin using this app. Okay, so now you've found an efficient and easy way to send money back home. Great. Or in Canada. Now my next step would be to have a conversation with the family member or loved one who you are going to be sending money to. Find out exactly what they need the money for and how much they actually need per month. So I know they may feel like you are intruding a little bit, and you may feel like you are intruding a little bit, but remember, this is your money and you deserve to know what's going on with it. So I would have a conversation with them, and if they tell you that they need money for rent and they need $2,000 a month, but you know that their rent is only $1,000 a month, that's an opportunity to have further discussions and see what they really need the money for, and if they actually need as much as you are sending, or maybe they even need more. So this is a conversation that you need to have to make sure that you are giving them an appropriate amount of money for their situation. The next tip I have is to consult other family members and see if those family members can pitch in and contribute. So for example, I know not everyone has siblings, but if you do have siblings who are able and willing to contribute, maybe you can talk to them about splitting the money. So say you're sending money to your parents and you send them $1,000 a month, and you also have 3 siblings and they're all able and willing to send money. Have a chat with them and say that, hey guys, can we split this $1,000 a month 4 ways and we each send $250 to our parents each month? This will make it so much lighter on you. In this situation, you've just been able to go from $1,000 to $250 in an instant, and it saves you a lot of money in the long term. So I highly suggest speaking to other people who may be able to send money to this loved one and get them to pitch in, because the burden should not all be on you in order to provide for this person if there are other people who are able and willing to contribute. The last tip is to create a plan for both you and your parents. So for you, create a plan for yourself and create a budget. I will have a video coming out about budgeting and how you can create a budget, but a budget is essential so that you know where your money is going instead of wondering at the end of the month where it went. I'm sure many of you can relate that you make so much money in the month, but by the end of the month you're wondering, how come I have nothing in my bank account? This happens a lot, but if you create a budget, you're able to create that plan so you know exactly where your money is going. And if you know that every month you're now going to be sending $250 to your parents, for example, you're going to put that as a line item on your budget. So you're going to add that as a fixed expense that will always be paid. This way you can plan and see how much money you need to allocate to each of the other categories in order to make sure that you're not going broke trying to pay for your parents or trying to support your parents. This also ensures that you're not dipping into your savings money or your investing money in order to financially support your loved ones. Instead, you are creating it as a bill that you must pay each month, and you're creating a set amount, so you're not going to go over that or you're not going to go under that. This is the set amount that you're going to send to them, and it is planned into your financial plan. Then when it comes to planning for your parents or your loved ones, it's also important to come up with a financial plan for them. They may have never planned in their life, and they may think that you are making tons and tons of money over here, and they think you have money to blow on them, but maybe they are living above their means, or maybe I don't know, maybe they're not just good with money. So an important step to take would be to sit with them, have a conversation, and look at their finances holistically. Look at what's coming into their accounts each month, what's going out of their accounts each month. Maybe they're spending money in places that they really don't need to spend money. Maybe they're neglecting some areas that they should be planning for. So of course you want to start this as early as possible. The earlier the better, but the best time to start is obviously now. Have a conversation with them, sit down, You may even want to consider hiring a financial planner to come in and look at your parents' finances and help them create a plan. So it's one thing for you to go in and help them plan, but maybe they'll respond better to a professional coming in and helping them. This will allow them to look at your parents' investments, if any, their retirement accounts, if any, any assets they hold, and then make a plan for them. This includes estate planning, this includes wills. There's a lot that goes into planning for your parents and ensuring that they will not be a burden on you later on. Allow them to be more self-sufficient and get the best objective view of their finances to help them best allocate their resources. I hope this video was helpful. Remember, ideally you want to start off with finding the cheapest or ideally free way to send money to this loved one. Then you want to look at your finances and have a conversation with this family member and see what they really need this money for. Then you want to ask others to pitch in if possible so the burden is not all on you. And then lastly, you want to have a financial planning session with both you and your parents to find out what you can afford and what they really need, and then plan both of your finances going forward so that no one is being a burden to the other. Remember, your finances always come first and you cannot pour from an empty cup. So take care of yourself first. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed and learned a lot. Let me know what you want to see next. And if you have not yet liked this video or subscribed, please do so because it really helps my channel. Thanks everyone. Have a great day. Bye.